Hi, Rosa. Are you waiting for your class to start?
Yeah.
Do you have a few minutes to answer a few questions?
Yes.
What's your name and what are you studying at USF?
My name is Rosa Nafrere, and I am double majoring in management and marketing.
And what made you decide on management and marketing?
Management is pretty broad, so I did that. So I have a lot of options to choose for post grad. And I honestly chose marketing because I didn't want to graduate early, and it really paired well with management. But I'm super, super grateful I did.
And how many countries have you studied abroad in?
For the United Kingdom, Italy, Canada, and Germany.
Was it expensive studying abroad?
Nope, I actually did not pay a dollar out of pocket.
And how was that possible?
Through different kinds of scholarships, grants, my financial aid package here at USF as well.
And how did you find out about your scholarships?
Lauren Roberts, actually, she works at the Office of National Scholars.
What advice do you have for students who are maybe thinking about studying abroad but would think it was too expensive?
I would say look at your financial aid package, contact different people, go to the USF World office and see what you can do about it.
And what was the Gilman scholarship?
The Gilman Scholarship is a scholarship. It's a national scholarship, and it's awarded to different American students with financial need.
And how did you become a Gilman scholar?
So I had to write 3 essays and kind of fill out an application. It's not too bad of a process, but it's definitely a lot of work.
How did the Gilman impact your study abroad journey?
It changed it in many ways. Through the financial help, I was able to do more than what I thought I'd be able to.
And do you have any advice for applying to be a Gilman scholar?
Yes, I would say definitely go to the Office of National Scholars, get a lot of essay help there, and also make sure your essays are very authentic, detailed, and you.
What made you decide to study abroad for the first time?
Honestly, I've always been really adventurous, and I just thought it'd be a cool opportunity.
And what made you choose London?
I've always wanted to go there throughout my life, so I just wanted to capitalize on this one.
And if you could go back to London now, what's the first thing you would do?
I would go to the borough market and order a sandwich from the Black Pig.
And what was the most unexpected things about the city?
Definitely how walkable and easy it was to get around.
What was the most meaningful moment of your trip?
There was a lot of meaningful moments, but a lot of my favorite moments were just coming back to the flat with my flatmates and debriefing the day of adventures.
And what made you want to study abroad a second time?
I had such a great experience the first time. I had to do it again.
What food do you miss the most in Italy?
Gelato, easy.
What is the biggest difference between the culture in Italy and in Florida?
Everything, the food, the people, how people dress, everything, I'd say.
If someone were going on a trip to Italy this summer, what's the first thing that you would tell them to do?
I would tell them to go to Lake Como.
What motivated you to study in Germany next?
I would say I was looking for a shorter study abroad trip, and I've never been to somewhere like Germany, so I really want to check it out.
What was the most unexpected thing there?
Honestly, how deep and real and touching the history was.
How is Germany different from the other countries that you've traveled to?
I would also say the history is just so rich.
What's the one moment that really stuck with you in Germany?
We got to go to a museum and read different letters from victims of the Holocaust, and I mean, you hear it in your classes throughout your life, but it was really different reading these letters.
What's one thing you saw there that you would never see in the US?
Castles, how the architecture was. Honestly, just the castles, they're just amazing.
And what made you decide to participate in the corporate mentor program in Quebec?
I thought it'd be cool to have a business like background for when I study abroad. So
If your Quebec trip were a movie, what would it be called?
first time for everything.
What is the one misconception that Americans have about Canada?
That everyone speaks French. There's a lot of English going on over there.
What's a story from Canada that you haven't told many people?
We went sledding one time, and the one rule they had was do not look at somebody who got in an accident because you also get into the accident. And I started the accident, everyone looked over, and there was a big pile up. My fault.
If each of the four cities you studied abroad in had a personality, who would be the most chaotic and who would be the one that you would trust to plan your life?
Italy, most chaotic. London, planning my life.
What's the most random thing you packed that ended up being a lifesaver, and what did you bring that was totally useless?
Digital camera, lifesaver. Totally useless. Umbrella, never used it.
Which location felt the most main character moment? And if you had an exact moment/scene, could you share that with us?
Yes, London. Most main character moment, and the scene would be on the last day. I wanted to find the cheapest keychains I could find, so we explored the whole city all over again at like 9 p.m. It started raining, but we are just enjoying seeing all the big monuments for one last time.
And if your study abroad experience were a playlist, what song would represent each city and why?
That's a good question. London, take on the world because it was a new experience and I generally felt like I was taking on the world. Um, Canada, try everything because that's exactly what we did. Italy, I'd say you're going to go far. I felt very far. A lot was happening at home, like with graduations and things like that, and I felt far, but it felt like I needed to be there. And then for the last one, Germany, I'd say someone new because I just felt like I was meeting so many new people and learning so much about different experiences.
And what's one cultural habit you picked up abroad that people at home don't understand and you refuse to stop doing?
After coming back from Italy, I was making so much from scratch.
What is one moment from studying abroad that you'll never forget?
Karaoke nights in Canada,
And what's a stamp you're trying to get on your passport?
South Africa,
When you board a plane, a window seat or an aisle seat?
Isle Easy,
What student organizations are you involved in?
Chi Alpha, Delta Sigma Pi, and the Corporate Mentor Program.
And how did you choose what to get involved in?
I chose organizations that I knew would benefit my growth.
Do you have a favorite organization and why?
Yes, Chi Alpha Campus Ministries. I'm Christian and it's a Christian group and it's just been a core in my life.
What has Chi Alpha meant to you?
It's meant everything. It's taught me discipleship, taught me more about Jesus and just what it looks like to be a good Christian, a good friend, and a good human.
What has Delta Sigma Pi taught you?
It's taught me the power of people, connection, and just overall networking.
And what is the Corporate Mentor Program?
The Corporate Mentor Program is a program for first generation college students, and it just gives them mentors in the Tampa Bay community.
And what is the best networking experience you've had?
I cold emailed the vice president of community impact for Raymond James, and that's what I want to do in the future. And she answered, and we really hit it off. And she's actually my mentor to this day.
What has the Student Alumni Association been like?
I'm currently not involved in it anymore, but it was an amazing organization. It really connected me to alumni and just showed me a lot of cool things. I joined it really early on in my college experience, and I'm so grateful for it.
How has being involved shaped your college experience?
It's changed everything. It's made college so enjoyable.
And do you have any advice for students who want to get more involved?
I would say go to the events. Don't be scared. You might be out of your comfort zone, but I promise you will gain so much from being involved.
And what's your dream job?
Anything in community impact, wherever I could help out the community.
How has USF prepared you for your career?
In every way, it's given me resources. It's connecting me to people who are in my career. Just showed me how to set myself up professionally.
And what was your most valuable professional skill that you've learned at USF?
Networking.
What's your best internship or work experience?
Working at the Dean of Students office.
What did you learn working for the Dean of Students?
I learned what a good leader looks like. Dean McDonald is phenomenal, and she's a great leader.
Do you have any resume tips for students?
Yes, always have somebody who is either in the position that you want look at it, and then also use the Bellini Center. They have great resources.
Do you have any LinkedIn or networking advice?
Yes, reach out to anybody that might be in the field that you want to pursue and just learn from them, ask them good questions, and I believe that'll set you up for success.
How has study abroad changed you?
In every single way, it's broadened it's broadened my perspective. It's made me just more comfortable with different cultures and had me try new things. It's changed me in so many ways.
And what was your most meaningful moment during college?
I would say that a lot of small moments make the big moments, but honestly, I'd say small groups. I'm a Bible study leader for my Chi Alpha campus ministries, and it's been just amazing seeing my girls grow through Bible study, and I've loved it.
And what's the biggest challenge you've overcame?
So I am the daughter of two Haitian immigrants, and that came with a whole lot of challenges financially and them just coming over here and a lot of things that they had experienced. But I would say as a family, we overcame it, made the best of it, and we're still here.
What motivates you?
My faith, my family, and my friends.
What would you say to a student who thinks studying abroad isn't for them?
I would challenge them to ask themselves why, and if it's out of fear, I would tell them to try to combat that. It's a great experience.
What's one thing you wish you knew before studying abroad?
I wish I knew how much I would love Hamilton one day because I really wish I went to a show in London.
What did you miss most about home while you were abroad?
My family and my friends, and Chipotle.
What is one souvenir you got abroad that you'll never get rid of?
I got a keychain from each of my study abroad trips, and I will have them forever.
And what is one piece of advice that you would give to Rosa in her freshman year?
I would say get a travel credit card. You'll be doing a lot of traveling.
What is one moment you would want to relive from your trips abroad?
There's been so many great moments, but I would say, and when I went to Italy, we did a weekend trip to Milan, and out of there, we did day trips to different places. We went to Lake Como, Switzerland, and genuinely, that was one of the best weekends ever.
If you weren't studying business, what would you be doing?
Psychology.
Are you excited to graduate this May?
I am so excited, ready for the next adventure.
What was the scariest part of studying abroad?
When I was in Italy, I took a day trip to Monterosso because all of my roommates were gone. They went to different countries, and I was like a nice little beach trip. I came back home and my door was unlocked, everything was open, and I was like, "Did I just get robbed?" So I ran and just tried to find a friend, and then all that just to figure out the maintenance came, and they just didn't send any emails.
If you could study abroad one more time, where would you want to go?
Great question. Australia.
And if you could sum up your USF experience in one sentence, what would it be?
Honestly, personally, I would say my USF experience was perfect.
Wait, Rosa, don't you have to get to class?
Oh, yeah.